Welcome to Hollywood Latest Reports. Last Wednesday, the atmosphere at the Family Worship Center was filled with a sense of anticipation. Donnie Swaggart, known for his heartfelt sermons and unwavering faith, had taken to the stage for the evening Bible study, promising a session unlike any other. Congregants gathered in the chapel, some whispering excitedly, others quietly praying, unaware that the night would turn into an emotional and spiritual revelation for all. As Donnie began reading from the scriptures, his voice carried the weight of sincerity and emotion. Passages from the book of Matthew and Psalms resonated deeply with everyone in attendance. But it was when he paused, looking down at his Bible, that a hush fell over the room. His eyes, glistening with emotion, scanned the congregation as if searching for someone, or perhaps conveying a message from above. "I want to share something very personal with you all tonight," Donnie said, his voice trembling slightly. "Last night, Jesus came to me in my dream. And what he told me, it changed my heart forever." The room went silent. Congregants leaned forward, sensing the gravity of what was about to unfold. Donnie continued, recounting the dream with vivid detail, describing how he saw the figure of Jesus, radiant and full of compassion, standing before him in a serene landscape bathed in golden light. "In my dream," Donnie said, pausing to collect himself, "Jesus spoke to me in a way I have never experienced before. He gave me a message so powerful, so full of love that it brought me to tears even as I slept. He told me to create something meaningful, something that would help those in need and honor his name through our church." Donnie's hand shook as he held the Bible close to his chest. He said, "Donnie, I want you to start a charity. Name it after your church. Let it be a beacon of hope for those who are struggling, for the lost and the broken." And as he spoke, I felt his presence so strongly that I could not stop crying. Even in my sleep, the words resonated with every fiber of my being. Congregants began wiping their eyes. Some were openly crying, moved by Donnie's raw honesty and the divine message he had received. "It was a dream," yes, Donnie continued, "but the message was clear. Jesus wants us to act. He wants us to give back. And tomorrow, I will begin sharing the plans for this charity with all of you, because this is not just my mission, it is ours together." The rest of the Bible study transformed into a session of reflection, prayer, and heartfelt discussion. Members shared their own experiences of faith and dreams, creating an atmosphere charged with spiritual energy and collective purpose. By the end of the night, one thing was clear: this was no ordinary Wednesday Bible study. It was a night of revelation, emotion, and the beginning of a journey that would touch countless lives. The morning after the dream, Donnie Swaggart awoke with a sense of purpose unlike anything he had felt before. The sunlight streaming through his bedroom window seemed to affirm the divine clarity of the message he had received. His heart was still heavy with emotion, tears lingering from the dream, but it was accompanied by an overwhelming determination. "I knew immediately," Donnie recounted to a small group of church leaders, "that this was not just a vision, it was a calling. Jesus himself instructed me to act, to create a charity under our church's name that would serve those in need." Donnie's vision for the charity was both ambitious and deeply personal. He wanted it to address the most pressing needs in the community, feeding the hungry, providing shelter for the homeless, supporting families in crisis, and offering spiritual guidance to those seeking solace. Every detail was inspired by the compassion he had felt in his dream. "I could feel the love and urgency in his words," Donnie explained during the follow-up Bible study. He didn't just want a name or an organization, he wanted a movement of hope, kindness, and faith. And it's our responsibility to bring that vision to life. As the congregation listened, many were moved to tears. Some had known Donnie for years, aware of his dedication to the ministry, but even they were struck by the depth of emotion and spiritual clarity he exuded. It was like watching someone receive a direct message from God, one church member commented afterward. You could see it in his eyes. It was real, it was raw, and it was beautiful. Donnie shared practical steps that he planned to take to establish the charity. First, he would meet with a board of trusted church members to outline the mission, vision, and operational framework. Then he would open channels for community involvement, inviting volunteers and donors to participate in this growing ministry of hope. Finally, he would create educational and support programs aimed at uplifting the underprivileged, offering both material and spiritual assistance. "This isn't just about money or resources," Donnie emphasized. "It's about creating a space where love, faith, and action converge. We are answering Jesus' call together, and tomorrow I'll share the first concrete steps with all of you." The following evening, Donnie returned to the pulpit for another Bible study, this time with a sense of anticipation and momentum. The room was buzzing with curiosity. Congregants leaned in as he described the framework of the charity. He spoke of outreach programs for local schools, partnerships with shelters, and mentorship programs for young people struggling to find direction. Every initiative was tied back to the dream and the message he had received from Jesus. As Donnie outlined the plans, the emotional weight of the night returned. He recounted how, in his dream, Jesus had not only given him the directive, but had also shown him glimpses of the lives that would be touched. "I saw children smiling who had never known joy," Donnie said, his voice shaking. "I saw families finding peace. I saw hearts being healed. And that's what we are called to do: heal, uplift, and serve." The congregation erupted in applause, and tears flowed freely throughout the room. Many members approached Donnie afterward, expressing their excitement and willingness to participate. Some shared their own experiences of dreams or spiritual encounters, creating a shared sense of divine connection. Over the next few weeks, the charity began taking shape. Donnie worked tirelessly alongside church volunteers, creating outreach plans, fundraising strategies, and community programs. Social media campaigns were launched to raise awareness, while local businesses and families pledged support. The church became a hub of activity and hope, buzzing with the energy of a mission inspired by a single, powerful dream. One church member, Mary Thompson, reflected on the transformation. "I've been coming here for over a decade, but I've never felt this kind of spiritual excitement. It's as if the dream has awakened something in all of us, an urgency to act, to give, and to embody the love Jesus showed Donnie." Even outside the church, the story of Donnie's dream and the resulting charity began to spread. Local media covered the initiative, emphasizing the emotional and spiritual origins of the mission. Interviews with Donnie highlighted his humility and unwavering dedication. "I don't see this as my accomplishment," Donnie told reporters. "This is God's work, revealed in a dream, and I am merely a vessel. Our goal is to serve, to love, and to bring hope to as many people as we can." As months passed, the charity grew in scope and impact. Meals were provided to hundreds of families, mentorship programs launched for at-risk youth, and support services offered to struggling parents. The church community became tightly knit, bonded by a shared mission inspired by a divine encounter. Donnie often reflected on that pivotal Wednesday night when Jesus appeared in his dream. "I still remember the tears, the love, and the clarity of that moment," he shared during a recent Bible study. "It reminded me that God speaks to us in ways we might not expect: dreams, visions, emotions. These are channels through which he communicates. And when we listen, act, and share, incredible things happen." The story of Donnie Swaggart's emotional Bible study continues to inspire countless individuals, reminding them that faith, action, and compassion can create lasting change. What began as a dream has transformed into a living legacy, a charity that embodies the teachings of Jesus, nurtures the community, and exemplifies the power of listening to God's guidance. And so, the Wednesday night Bible study that started as a routine spiritual gathering became the catalyst for a movement of hope and love, led by a man whose heart was touched by a dream, and whose actions continue to touch lives every day. As we reflect on the incredible journey of last Wednesday's Bible study, it's impossible not to be moved by the profound impact of Donnie Swaggart's dream. What began as an ordinary night of scripture reading transformed into an extraordinary moment of divine revelation, reminding us all that God communicates with us in ways we might never expect. Donnie's emotional testimony, the moment he shared how Jesus appeared to him in a dream, giving him a mission to create a charity under the church's name, was nothing short of inspiring. It is a story of faith, hope, and action. It shows that listening to God's guidance, embracing his message, and taking tangible steps to serve others can lead to life-changing outcomes, not just for ourselves, but for an entire community. This is more than just a story about a dream. It is a call to action for every believer. When Donnie heard the message, he didn't hesitate. He took immediate steps to bring Jesus' words to life. He involved his congregation, engaged with community members, and started building programs that would provide food, shelter, mentorship, and spiritual guidance to those in need. It's a reminder that faith without action is incomplete, and that God often calls us to serve in ways we might never imagine. The charity that grew out of Donnie's dream now touches countless lives. Families who once struggled to make ends meet are finding hope. Young people who felt lost or discouraged are being guided toward brighter futures. And the church, once simply a place of worship, has become a hub of compassion, kindness, and community service. Every step of this journey demonstrates that when we respond to God's calling, incredible things happen. Watching Donnie share his story is a lesson in vulnerability and courage. He opened his heart to the congregation, sharing the intimate details of his dream and the emotions it stirred within him. Congregants were not only witnesses to a powerful message, they became participants in the mission. Their tears, their prayers, and their willingness to contribute show the strength of a faith community united by purpose. And it's not just within the walls of the church that this story resonates. Across the world, viewers like you can see the power of a single moment of divine inspiration. We are reminded that no act of faith is too small, no dream too insignificant, and no person too ordinary to make a difference. If you take one thing away from this story, let it be this: God speaks to all of us, and when we listen, the possibilities are endless. As Donnie continues to build and expand the charity, every milestone is a testament to the impact of faith in action. Every meal served, every family helped, every young person mentored is a living tribute to that night's dream. And for those of us watching, it's an invitation to reflect on our own lives. What messages has God sent to you? Are you listening? Are you ready to act? This story also reminds us of the power of community. One person's dream sparked a collective mission. When individuals come together in faith, love, and service, the ripple effect can touch thousands. Donnie's journey teaches us that when God's guidance meets human action, miracles can happen, not always in dramatic ways, but in everyday acts of kindness, generosity, and love. For all our viewers, this is more than just inspiration. It's a challenge. How can you make a difference in your own life and the lives of those around you? Perhaps it's starting a small initiative in your community, volunteering at a local shelter, or even simply spreading kindness in your daily interactions. Donnie's story shows that even one person's faith-driven actions can create monumental change. If you've been moved by this story, here's how you can stay connected. Like this video to show your support for Donnie's mission. Comment below to share your thoughts, dreams, or experiences with divine guidance. And subscribe to our channel to follow more incredible stories of faith, hope, and inspiration. Your engagement helps us continue sharing stories that uplift, encourage, and remind us of the power of God's love. We also encourage you to share this video with friends, family, and anyone who might be inspired by Donnie's journey. The message of compassion, service, and divine guidance is universal. It transcends age, background, and circumstance. By sharing, you're helping spread hope to those who might need it most. Remember, this isn't just a story about Donnie Swaggart. It's a story about all of us. It's about the dreams God plants in our hearts, the courage to act on them, and the community that grows when we